Welcome back, guys, or if you're new to my channel, this is Automotive Anonymous, and I'm currently driving a 2025 Subaru Outback, but more specifically, it's a premium in Crimson Red, and today is the first time I'm driving a 2025 Subaru Outback. If you're new to my channel, I actually have owned an Outback Wilderness for almost 3 years, and I've driven a whole lot of Subarus. And for this new model year, which is the last year of this 6th generation of Subaru Outback, I figured I might as well do my regular review of every single trim level, of which there should be 9. And why not also have a driving video, because that only takes a few extra minutes to produce while I'm already making a regular review of it. And for those of you at home wondering if this might be the right vehicle for you, you probably want as much information as you can before you're spending $30,000 to $45,000 depending on which trim level you go with. And if you like Subaru, the Outback, or my video, please consider liking my video. That small act of kindness, it actually goes a long way. It helps me know you want to see more stuff like this, but it will also help you by having YouTube choose to show you more stuff like this that you maybe didn't know already existed. Thank you, guys. The funny thing is, for 2025, at least as of today when I'm filming this, they're already hitting the lots depending on your geographical location, but on the website, at least on Subaru of America's website, they haven't even updated it yet to show the 2025s versus the 2024s. So I'll overlay some stuff on the screen of the window sticker and talk about what we know about it. But ultimately, there really aren't a lot of changes for this last year of the 6th generation of this Outback. What we do know is next year, the Legacy, which is the sedan that this is based off of, it's disappearing. Personally, I'm really optimistic that that means that Subaru might be bringing back the Baja, and they might be getting competitive with the Hyundai Santa Cruz or the Ford Maverick. Those are pretty cool mini trucks. Even though they're called mini trucks, they're basically what mid-size trucks were 10 years ago or full-size trucks were 20 years ago. But whatever, that's just the world we live in now. Everything's gone big and bloated, just like it did back in the 70s. But how does this drive? Because this video is about the Outback, and I've kind of gone off topic already. So it drives smooth. That bump was really nothing. That same bump, taking something like a Chevy SS sedan or a Corvette or some performance car, is pretty unpleasant. But with a 9-foot wheelbase and all the sidewall that you get on these Avid GT tires, because they only have a 17-inch wheel on the Premium, you actually have a lot of cushion. This is a really comfortable ride. Just driving through a farm field or through a country road like I am today, you feel like you could drive through a farm field. But it's smooth. The visibility is fantastic. The side mirrors do a great job. You can see right down the side, but the A-pillar and the B-pillar are really not very wide. And if you do look over your shoulder, you have a lot of visibility. Maybe not quite as much, at least vertically, as you do in something like the Subaru Forester. But compared to a lot of other crossovers and wagons, which there aren't that many these days, this is actually a really good option, and it's comfortable. Even on the Premium, you have these cloth seats, and they're really comfortable. My backpack's having a good time. I also love that Subaru cloth seats are pretty thin, so they don't really take up a lot of room in the cabin. And when you're just sitting in the driver's seat, it's easy to find a comfortable position. This Premium does have a power driver's seat, so it's really easy to find a comfortable position. And then the steering wheel tilts and telescopes. As far as wind and road noise goes today, these trees aren't dancing around a whole lot. There's just a little bit of wind out there. So there's not a ton of wind hitting the glass. And for that reason, these pretty basic speakers actually sound decent enough for what you're paying for. If you're gonna pay about $33,000 for a premium trim level like this, that just has a few options. Otherwise, it's just the basic MSRP of about $31,000. About 13 or 1400 of MSRP, and then just a few extra options that you really should consider, like what this has, the compass, the auto dimming mirrors, and the garage door openers. It's a really worthwhile upgrade, and I'm so glad that both of our Subarus have that. But driving slow, driving behind a big box truck like this, or semis or farm equipment or whatever you might have to go around someday, this 2.5 liter that makes 182 peak horse at about 5,800 RPM, it does okay around town and at slow speeds. Density altitude does put us at about 6,000 feet though, above sea level, which means if you lose 3 to 3.5% of your naturally aspirated horsepower for every 1,000 feet, we might be down on power up to about 21% or so. So around town, slow driving, you're not gonna feel it. But this vehicle, it has a payload capacity of 900 pounds, so you can't even technically fit 5 200-pound adults in the entirety of the 5 seats. If you do, you're over the limit by 100 pounds. or if you have stuff on the roof rack and a few passengers and a little bit in the cargo and the area in the back, you quickly can, match your 900 pounds. But even though you do maybe think that that should be a higher number, it's actually pretty average, pretty standard. And let's see how this 2.5 liter does getting around the semi. It does okay. It's not fast by any stretch of the imagination. The Turbo Boxer 2.4 liter, which is what I have in my Wilderness, way faster. It does on average a 0 to 60 about 3 seconds faster. With that said, let's get to the 0 to 60. 0 to 60 in the 2025 Subaru Outback. Keep in mind density altitude is 6,000 feet above sea level, so we're actually down on power about 20% today. Traction's off, brake rev, let's go. And true 0 to 60 came in at 9.76 seconds. Not surprising given how hot it is and with our elevation today, which honestly under 10 seconds is actually a little bit surprising for me. I thought with our heat and our elevation equivalent today, we might not even break under 10, but it does the job when it's unloaded. Just keep in mind when you have your family in here, it might be 11 or 12 seconds if you're in a similar elements that I am today. If you're going up a mountain pass or if you're towing, you have something hanging off the rear, 1,500 pounds or whatever, it's just gonna be slower. You just have to be careful and you have to plan ahead. But when you are slowing down, the brakes feel linear. The steering, there's some body roll, but it's not as bad as a body on frame truck. There's just enough that this is forgiving and it's a smooth and comfortable ride. And again, when you're not having to floor it, when you're not having to go around slow moving equipment and you're having to pass it within a few seconds before there's oncoming traffic in the other lane, this actually does really good. I'm getting more and more used to the head unit. This does have heated seats. It does have some plugins, a lot of creature comforts, and overall there's a reason why so many people love their Subaru Outback and why these sell over 100,000 units every single year in North America alone. But like I mentioned earlier, I really hope they bring back the Baja. I really hope Subaru brings a little bit of the spice that they used to have with some of their hood scoop turbo models, 5 and 6 speed manual transmissions. I do want to mention the CVT in this. It's one of the best in the game. I think Subaru CVTs are really good. Unfortunately, if they ever have to be replaced outside of warranty, for some reason they're twice the expense of a normal transmission. A lot of people are being quoted $9,000 to $11,000. So maybe consider Subaru's extended warranty if you're worried about that. I don't read about many issues on the forums, but just so that if it ever fails, which seems to be 1% of people, if that even, probably not even that many, it is a fairly big bill just to be aware of. But anyways, driving this, it's awesome. There's a reason why my Outback Wilderness is the vehicle that I have had the longest. And I came from driving Toyota trucks. I had a couple new Tacomas. I had a supercharged FJ Cruiser, and I just really find the value in Subaru. In addition to this being a top safety pick, this is a really safe vehicle. It has a whole lot of safety features, and Subaru is one of the few automakers that really seems to value safety and care that you avoid accidents and that you make it out alive. Hey, that way you can buy another Subaru. And with that said, if you guys like this video, consider liking this video. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Reach out to Twin Falls Subaru if you're interested. They sell everything under MSRP and they'll ship anywhere in the country. And with that said, let me just show you a U-turn on this. Full circle is 36 feet. So a half circle is closer to 18. And that was really smooth. It did it in one very wide lane on the side and the shoulder of the road. And with that said, I wish you guys the best. Hope you take care and watch some more of my Subaru videos if you want, or any of the other videos that I've come out with. With that said, take care guys. See ya.